come on in the room. Bucks lose it tonight, 111-105 to the Toronto Raptors at home. I think this starts what will be a 5-game road swing that's coming up for the Bucks. So they had a chance tonight to get back into the win column after a 45-point loss to the Brooklyn Nets, which had this program leave had an 11-minute show. So they gave a better effort, better showing tonight. But they do lose it 111-105. Come on in the room. We have Giannis comments tonight as well that we can get into. So those would be interesting. Talk about what he had to say. Not doing the Doc stuff. Doc Rivers is a lot of people on, especially if you're looking at social media, a lot of people having some problems with Doc Rivers and should he be terminated? We talked about that before. But again, in the end, we got to get to it. It's a loss, 111-105. Come on in the room. Get at us on the Twitter at OnYourTCQs973. Get at us in the YouTube chat. We'll talk to you there as well. But we are live. Screw Travis Dirt.
JT.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah. There we go. Cream City crossover in the building, doing what we do. Appreciate you guys for joining us tonight in a 111-105 loss to the Toronto Raptors. And let's start this thing off with a game recap. It was Kevin Porter Jr., 22. He played 40 minutes tonight. 40 minutes tonight. We'll talk about the game plan that the Bucks rolled out, what they thought they could do. I see it. I'll go to Super Chat coming in early here from Steeler Face 21. Our guy, he says, this shit's over. Giannis is not playing another game as a Buck, whether he's traded this season or in the offseason. I want to say if he's traded in the offseason, I don't know why he wouldn't play. I don't know if he's saying he's shutting it down, but okay. He says, the curse of Jimmy Haslem is upon us. I don't want to hear any cope tonight. Listen, man, I think that's a little strong. I think that's a little strong. I guess my question is, for if you're upset about tonight, and again, I'm not mad at you if you want to be upset about it. The Bucks lost. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't be, or that you expect, but did you want the Bucks to win? But I guess my question would be, you can't, in my opinion, I can't expect more from the team than I think they are. So did you come into tonight, like you're saying it's over now? Did you come into tonight thinking the Bucks are going to beat the Toronto Raptors? That'd be my question. Or they were going to have an easy time, especially, Giannis is there. And after you hear that Kuzma's not there to defend, these wings of Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes, I don't know that you should have expected a win tonight, but that's what I would say. But again, I hear the sentiment. You say you don't want any cope, and I understand it. 111-105. Okay, KPJ, 22, 13, and 4 rebounds tonight. 7 of 18 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. He did have 7 turnovers. I think he had like 4 or 5 in the first quarter. He's got to hold to the ball a little bit better. There's no question about that. But I think that I thought again in the day he was a +2. I thought overall he was positive. And again, I will get into how the Bucks played this tonight with Kevin Porter Jr. in a second. But I think when you have a guy whose usage rate is that high, who literally has the ball and is literally out there on the floor, is the only one who is doing anything at all on the floor in terms of trying to get the ball, get into Marcus Johnson, talk about paint touches. Like KPJ was basically it was a Kevin Porter Jr. showcase tonight, is what I saw from the Milwaukee Bucks. And he played 40 minutes. And honestly, I know people say, oh, it was too much ball dominance, too much ISO, too much. I honestly thought that's the only reason it was close tonight, was because Kevin Porter Jr. was out there trying to make things happen. Gary Trent Jr. was abysmal, 3 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Just can't happen. Miles Turner was aggressive offensively tonight. Give him some credit. 21 and 6, 6 of 14 from the field. Jericho Sims, 6.7 boards. I think he does the best he can. I can't add. And that's what we start talking about. Like, you talk about playing to the front of your car back. What more can I ask from Jericho Sims? I think he's trying. Like, there were some comments this week from Doc Rivers that people got upset about, where Doc was talking about energy, and there's an exchange he had with the reporter. I think it was Jim or Jim O. I'll just call him Jim O. And they had this exchange about whether you could control energy and effort. And Doc Rivers was talking about, went back and forth and said, hey, can you really control that? We're talking about execution is what he wanted to talk about. And I thought the effort tonight from the entire group was good. I really did. I thought the effort was good. They just couldn't get it done. But yeah, Sims, I can't ask much more. He fumbles the ball. He's an uncoordinated player, but he plays hard. So he did what he could do. AJ Green, 5 points, 2 boards tonight, 2 of 5 from the field. I'm going to give him a pass. I think, he's come back from an injury, first game back. I thought they could have got more shots for him, which is a doc issue as well. But, AJ Green, to me, you got to shoot the ball. But I give him a pass his first game back. Bobby Portis, this is about 3 or 4 games, string of games where Bobby Portis has played well. 24 points, 12 rebounds tonight for Bobby, 2 steals, 1 block, 9 of 18 from the field. He was a +3. I thought he had an excellent game. Ryan Rollins, 17, 4 and 5, 3 steals, 7 of 15 from the field. He was put on he was on the bench tonight, came off the bench, 28 minutes of action. Probably could have played a little more. If you're going to play him off the bench, we can talk about that. But I thought Ryan Rollins started to assert himself in the second half. Gary Harris was okay, 7 points, 3 boards. Bucks ran an 8-man rotation. We are in December running an 8-man rotation trying to get wins, and you don't get it. So, again, that's interesting as well. Toronto side of things, double digits galore for their starters. Ingram, 29 and 8. Scotty Barnes, 24 and 11. Mamu, 18 and 7. And again, this is my point about about Miles Turner. And again, he has 21 and 6 tonight, but it was basically matched by Sandro Mamu. We talk. So this was a good Miles Turner game. We had a good Miles Turner game, and the opposing center was able to match his contribution. Remember we talked about this with Damian Lillard, and it was like, man, the other point guard is over there doing it. We brought in Dame to dominate that matchup, and the other guard would come in and dominate the matchup himself. And so in a good Miles Turner game, you got a guy, and that's what I was going back and forth with people on Twitter about, whether you trade Miles Turner or not. I don't know how much Mamu makes. I know he don't make $25 million. Miles Turner making $25 million was matched in output by Mamu, who makes whatever he makes. So I think, I'm just saying, I think you can, if Miles Turner is available in trade discussions, I don't know that, because somebody's like, well, are you going to get a better center? I don't know. Mamu's not better than Miles Turner on paper, but when they go head to head, he's put up the same numbers. Quickly, 9 points, 10 assists, 6 boards. Grady Dick, only 6 points tonight. She with 8 points and 11 assists. Walter, 3 points in 20 minutes. Again, I'll keep it short until we'll talk further. I thought the game plan was obvious tonight. They wanted KPJ to get downhill and basically run everything for this basketball team. That's what he did. I thought he was effective in doing it. Too many turnovers. But I think that this is the problem, gentlemen. You have a basketball team that was centered around Giannis being a high usage player. And it was not just centered, because that's every superstar-led team. Every team has a superstar, centered around superstar. I get that. But Giannis is a special circumstance because of his limitations. So you have a team that you're trying. Again, the Bucks, when you think about it, they are the number one 3-point shooting percentage team in the entire NBA. This is built for everybody claps on Giannis and kick out for threes. That's what the team is built. John Horst built a team that is supposed to be with Giannis. And if Giannis is out, this is the result, because you have a bunch of guys that cannot withstand. Again, look at it when he's out. It's just KPJ who can get down. Nobody else can get downhill. Nobody else can get downhill except Ryan Rollins. That's it. It's the only guy that can get downhill and do anything with the basketball outside of KPJ. So that's what they did tonight. And they came up short. And I think if you had Kuzma, maybe he can stop Brandon Ingram a little bit better. Maybe you have an opportunity, a shot there. But again, process-wise, I thought it was better tonight. But if you just look at that game, when KPJ goes out, I don't know if there's an offense in the NBA that is more side to side than none of it is downhill. Everything side to side to side. I've never seen a more east-west offense. That's what the Bucks are right now. And they didn't get the requisite number of stops. How many times you see Brandon Ingram matched up with Gary Harris? Bucket, bucket, bucket. Open threes. You run this zone, doesn't work. So, again, it's a team that can't really get the stops you need. And offensively, you are very superstar dependent, and you don't have your superstar. So now your superstar is KPJ. That's the guy you're dependent on for basically everything. And I thought he kept – but the team is – but then the roster is not centered to play solely around KPJ. So it's not even at the best strengths for a guy like him either. But he's trying to play that role. So again, it didn't work tonight. I did think the effort was there. I thought the Bucks did what they could do. I wasn't mad at tonight's result. Obviously, you want to win, but 111-105, don't get it done. Bucks are now, 5 games under 500? It's getting bleak, fellas. That's what I saw. JT, what'd you see?
I mean, wait, no, what are we, 60? We're 11 and 17 now, right? Are we 11 and 16? 11 and 17? Yeah, we're 11 and 17 now. Now we're 6 games under 500, right? Now, so I think the thing is I see your points on Miles Turner, but one thing I'll say tonight, I think, and having the absence of Kuzma, I mean, it hurts you. You were a bit depleted tonight. But Kuzma, points in the paint. We just didn't get second chance opportunity. None. It just that was a bit glaring there. The other thing is AJ Green. You guys, when you talk about AJ Green getting more shots, he only had 1 shot in that first half. That's unbelievable. Like that. There's no reason why, and that wasn't even a 3. There's no reason why you're not getting looks for AJ Green. And I say this all the time. When Giannis is out, you have to get something from AJ Green or Gary Trent Jr. You cannot have both of those guys just out there, as Chris would say, shaking ass. You can't. Like, you have to get something out of AJ Green or Gary Trent Jr. And tonight, again, you did not. Now, Gary Trent Jr. played 30 minutes tonight at 3 points. I was like 1 for 5. I'm not sure what happened there, but I think you have an issue if these are because this is far too common for Gary Trent Jr. I'm not trying to say pile on to him, but what I'm saying is this was a perfect night for you to get out there, take advantage of your opportunity, take advantage of the 30-minute play time, and do something, and just did absolutely nothing. KPJ, one thing I think is fun about watching KPJ is he is a guy who will try to put this team on his back. He 100% has that gene in him. He 100% has that gene in him. And so that was fun. I did not catch – why did Ryan Rollins not start tonight? Did we get an official explanation?
Nah, I think Doc was just trying to do something different with the bench unit is what I would assume.
Trying to switch that up? Well, I mean, I guess. Man.
He said –
You said what?
He said that the reason why he switched Rollins and 2 reasons why with KPJ. One of the reasons was Toronto has such heavy ball pressure that he needed a fresh guard to handle the ball at all times. And then 2, he felt like Rollins and KPJ weren't working well together without Giannis on the floor.
I mean, I guess, right? I mean, and again, I think Ryan Rollins gave you what he could. Hey, guys, in summary, I'll say this. I think, Trey, you're right. I think they gave us kind of what we could expect. Although I still see the potential for this team to play better, it just a lot of things have to go right for them to win on a night like this. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But again, this team has to fight like hell to avoid the quicksand because right now, a couple weeks ago, they were in their ankles, right? Right now, it's the knees. Right now, the quicksand's up to your knees here. And you look up, it's very easy to say now we're 10 games under 500. And at that point, it's like that relay race, right? Where the first place team too far out front for you to catch them. It don't matter what you do. And I don't want to. Are we approaching that point? Do you guys think? I mean, are we cooked at this point?
I don't know if you're cooked. I think you are the oven's on.
Right, the oven's on. I'm about to say that. The oven's on, and you can see temperature. They don't say preheat no more. You can see the temperature rising here. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I left this game just wondering because again, you're dropping so many. You're just dropping a lot of games here. Yeah. Yes, injuries have hit you, but it's late January and February when they're nagging injuries. I mean, I don't know. But it's another night where you just lose another game. Where we had a chance to, and I don't know. I think it all adds up at the end, and this is what'll bite you in March.
I think the thing that was most apparent to me tonight is, and I think the absence of Kuzma certainly made this more apparent, but just how many guys Toronto had that was able to get downhill and have competitive looks at the rim all the time. And that's why you saw the disparity, I think, in points in the paint. It wasn't only just second chance points. It was their guys are attacking, and they're attacking with intention to make the layup. I think a lot of times our guys are just passing the ball around the perimeter, and that's a scheme issue. And you're right, Trey. I think KPJ, for what it's worth, he played well. I thought, the turnovers and the missed shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter, not only down the stretch, but at the beginning of the fourth quarter that allowed them to get that 10-point lead. I thought that kind of hurt us a little bit. but he made up for it in spurts, and he's really the only guy you had tonight that had a plan and was going to attack with force and going to get to his spots, get to his shot. So I can't give too much flack on KPJ, especially when we talk about creating offensively. I thought he did a good job of setting up other guys as he knew his shot wasn't falling all the way tonight. So, yeah, I just think that, I think some of the issues that we've been dealing with all season are still apparent today. The second chance points, everybody's going up to contest one guy at the rim because they're attacking hard, and the ball just bounces off right into Toronto's hands and they get an easy layup. Like, it's stuff like that is just I think undisciplined basketball at this point, you could say. So I think we're seeing a lot of that, and obviously, KPJ being the only creator without Giannis, it definitely hurts the amount of looks that a bench unit can get, that a unit that doesn't have KPJ on the floor can get.
Doc started out by saying we lost the game because of both ends of the floor. And that's what stopped us from coming back and taking the lead or tying the game up. Struggled tremendously offensively. And then he kind of got to KPJ and just was talking about how the things that he does aren't selfish. Even when you see the ball dominant stuff, he's trying and looking to set other people up. And that's the point he was trying to make yesterday. It's not an effort issue. It's back to the execution, was what his points was yesterday. Miles' aggressiveness in the first half was absolutely amazing, that he had to wait to the second half to kind of run a play for him. Miles and Bobby are starting to play a lot better. AJ Green struggled, but they kind of what you alluded to, Trey, said it was his first game back, so kind of expected a little bit. No Kuz, so Ingram was able to just basically shoot over those guys. There was no one tall enough to play defense against him. He thought Gary Harris played the best defense against him, and he still shot over him. I knew you'd get a kick out of that one. We already talked about splitting the guards, so they're getting closer to finding stuff, but they're still not there. We got to find ways to win basketball games, though. Ref came up to him talking about the offensive foul screens on Jericho Sims. Yeah, the first one, he said he anticipated it being a foul, that it wasn't really a foul. The second one, he felt like he stuck his leg out, but he's okay with offensive fouls on screens because it means you try to get guys open and stuff like that. And last point he made was that Bobby's really starting to move better and get comfortable in the offense, and he may be the silver lining. I mean, you just saw a basketball team that was hungry to win a basketball game tonight in the Toronto Raptors. And their ball pressure is insane. Their defense is good. And we just succumbed to it. So, man, I mean, these are the type of teams that you're going to be in dogfights with when it comes. This is a potential playoff team. I think they'll be a playoff team. And without 34 on that floor, you're not going to have a shot usually to beat a team like this. And especially not with Kyle Kuzma. All of you hit it on the head with his size was something we were definitely missing tonight.
No, 100%. Let me get to the super chat. NYC Randy. Appreciate it. He says, guys, can't lie. Didn't watch the game. Not worth wasting my time. Was out enjoying life. 100% expected an L. Seems just ass. No Giannis. What is Doc's record now? LMFAO. Get him gone. Yeah, I would say there were some good things tonight, though, in NYC. There were some good things. And Doc's point about, the execution versus effort, it is what I hate, again, sometimes I don't really get on the whole, I don't really get on the entire issue with, boys, when you look online, look at social media, people just start getting on Doc Rivers, right? And they really get on him, and it's a problem. And it becomes this thing where people, it doesn't matter what happens, they just ragtag on him, whatever he says. I understood his point. Again, am I a big somebody? Well, one thing, somebody in the chat, I know somebody in the chat's watching this Rams game. Somebody tell me what happened, because I got the game on mute. And I don't understand how they just converted this 2-point conversion. So somebody tell me what the hell that just was. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting. They just that's crazy. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know if y'all saw this, but this is actually crazy. I think they threw a backwards pass on a 2-point conversion. It hit off somebody's helmet and landed in the end zone. Everybody thought the play was over. Somebody from Seattle just walked up, picked up the ball in the end zone, and they said it was to the 2-point conversion was accepted. That's what I think just happened. That's actually insane. Sorry, but I think people just get on Doc Rivers and they just start piling on him. And again, I got his point. It's not all, you can't just. We talk about this all the time. When it comes down to effort, a coach is not. This isn't little league. These are grown men. I can't be responsible for 30. JT, everybody, you work a job. If your boss came up to you, yell, hey, look, and all they say, because this thing is about effort. Hey, review these contracts harder. Look harder at these contracts. What the heck? That ain't that. I'm a grown man. That doesn't hit. That's not going to, whatever my deficiencies are, that's you telling me. And that's what Doc's point was, saying play harder does not make grown men play harder. Play hard. What does that do when you're 30? These men, I'm 27. I'm 25. I'm 30. What do you mean play? I make more money than you. You can't yell at me and tell me to play harder. That's what yelling at somebody motivates 10-year-olds. It motivates 7-year-olds to go clean up their room.
So are you saying the problem is contract structure? These dudes is probably just pretty much fully guaranteed regardless whether or not they play. It's something different from football when you say, see, in football, you got all the leverage because guys have incentives in their contract. If you're not playing hard, I'm going to bench you. If you get benched, you can't be out on the field. And if you can't be on the field, it's going to cost you money with your incentives. It's different. Basketball, most of these contracts fully guaranteed. So rather than not, you see what I'm saying? Like, so what you going to do? Threaten to cut somebody? They still may get cat. I don't know. I just don't know if you can't motivate these guys to play hard. That motivation has to come from within, right? But if you
that's all I'm saying.
But if you have a bunch of guys who don't give a damn, or there's a threat of a GM that's like, I'm not going to play with you, then maybe that does something. But again, what can the GM do? Like how much? Can't really hurt them if their contract is fully guaranteed regardless, right?
Yeah, but I don't even know if it's as much about I think there's that aspect, a component of it. But I just think you mentioned football. It's a different structure. Football is so much more structured than basketball. Football is more like the military. You want to capture the possession of another team. You're going down to get into the other team's end zone. There, it's like capture the flag. Like that. It's a militarized type of a mindset and game versus what basketball is, and that's. So that I think my point is, I'm not defending Doc. My point is, I guess I understood what he was saying when he's just like, yeah, I'm much more, again, effort is a thing. Because again, I talked about before, Jason Kidd, you talk about energy and effort all the time. Jason Kidd would come to the podium and say, we need more. And y'all know how much I like Jason Kidd. He'd come back and the Lakers says, our coach is not supposed to motivate. What are we talking? I'm not saying they can't motivate. What I'm saying is, I think we think of this as like when we were kids and coaches being, oh, my coach is like my father figure. That's not what the NBA is. That's true. I think we think of it as if you play at a higher level, that's really not what it is. This is a job. So I would ask you, does your boss at work, wherever you work, Enterprise, Costco, does your boss motivate you to work harder? And maybe they do for you. I'm just telling you, I work the exact same where I work now as where I worked before and where I work next. Wherever I'm at, my work ethic is my work ethic. You're not. I got to work hard for the company. But I ain't never said that in my life.
I think unlike us though, again, it's incentives. Why do you work hard? So you can get a decent performance review and you can get the bag at the end of the year for that bonus. That's why you work hard. That's why you grind. So you can stay employed during the year, enjoy your salary, have fun, have the life you want. But you really grind because at the end of the year, you got that performance review and what you're trying to do. If your bonus is 20% of target, what you're trying to get? 20%. You're trying to get that full 20% of your salary as your bonus. If your bonus is 30% of your salary, what you're trying to do? You're trying to get that full 30%.
But here's the thing though, JT. Here's what we're talking. But if rebounding ain't in my incentive, if my incentive is you need to shoot at 40, maybe, hey, you need to be in top 10%, top 15 in the league, 3-point shooting percentage. All right, bet. Ain't got nothing to do with rebounding. That ain't got nothing that ain't got nothing to do with deflections. That's you see what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with my kind of don't say nothing about what my defensive stats look like or anything. I need to do this, and that's what we talk about all the time. Defense, rebounding, some of those effort type of things usually will not show up in incentive-based contracts or play. True. So there's a different type. But I guess I disagree with some people in the chat thinking that there is the coaches are the end goal for motivation. I'm not saying that they can't. I'm not saying they may not play a role, I'm saying I think it is much less of a role than some people would make it, that it's some type of energy and effort thing. Because again, Jason Kidd say every night he could opponent say energy, energy and effort.
Yeah.
Just saying it doesn't do anything.
But if it comes, so okay, so if it's not the coach, then it's got to be the individual players, right?
Correct.
You got to self-motivate yourself. And if you have guys who can't get themselves motivated and get them up and ready to go, then you have a personnel issue. If you got a bunch of guys that are right, like that's a personnel issue. Because I'm gonna just tell you right now, if you're looking for dogs, you're gonna bring in dogs, right? If you're looking for guys, you're gonna do that. And if you got a problem where you don't have enough dogs, yeah, you got a personnel issue, is what I'm saying.
I give you another example.
Look at
that 100% happens. But look at Giannis. Giannis come to work it don't matter who the coach is. Yeah, that's him. His mindset is I go 110% everything. It doesn't matter who the coach. Jericho Sims to me is working hard every single whether he's met, and he may make a ton of. Jericho Sims is working on the court. I've never seen a game where he's not working. So the fact that would you tell me that I'm talking to people in the chat? Would you tell me that Doc Rivers somehow has gotten through to Jericho Sims and can't get through to everybody? No, it's just Jericho. That's his motor. It's who he is as a person, and not everybody else has all that.
I agree with you, and I'm gonna kick to Justin on this afterwards, and Chris, I'm gonna open this up to them. I agree with you, but I'm gonna just tell you, based on what I see, at some point, if something doesn't change, this team is going to quit on Doc. Like they're going to check out on Doc. Like his reach in that locker room is going to quickly diminish at some point. Like you can't be, and I don't know, is that 11-25? Is that 12-30? Is that 13-30? I don't know, but at some point, I do think that I get it. Doc's not responsible for motivating these guys. He's not responsible for that. Even though I do think that is part of the coach's job, get your people going. And if you can't do it as a coach, your front office need to be in there too to put a fire under people's ass. But on the same note, at some point, you can't keep preaching these messages and not making adjustments or whatever that is. And then all of a sudden, the end result is now you're 10, 15, 20 games under fire. Yeah, they're going to quit on him at some point. That's all I'm going to tell you is that even if it's not his fault to get them motivated, they're going to quit because whatever his message is not resonating if this team keeps losing.
Well, and then you also got to wonder if at this point we're searching for something that's not going to come through the rest of the season. Like you got to wonder if the effort is more of an indictment on the player's skill, on the player's capabilities. Like I'm not seeing the effort increase from Bobby Portis. I'm not seeing necessarily the intensity and effort increase from Miles Turner, from Gary Trent, because I don't know if they actually have that in their bag on a night-to-night basis. That's the bigger question for me instead of if they can bring it every night. I don't know that those guys have it. They look sluggish all the time to me.
I guess my question, y'all saw the game. Did you? Oh, my bad, Justin. My question, did you see tonight's game? Did it look like guys? I thought the effort was there tonight. I really did. I didn't.
Exactly.
I didn't look
That's
at the game
my
and be
point.
like, man, nobody gave effort tonight. I didn't see that. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right. That's my point. It was like I didn't think that they were intentionally getting blown by, but it felt like you watched the game and that eye test says that, hey, those guys are younger, quicker, athletic. And it's not an indictment on what we're doing because that's what we tried to do. We aimed to get younger and athletic, but it seems as if those guys that we tried to go out and get are not making the impact that we thought. And you think about re-signing Gary Trent Jr., you think about A.J. Green, who has had some trouble defending lately, at least this season, and has been hurt a little bit. Like those are our type of guys that we were talking about re-signing because they're younger, maybe more athletic, and ultimately, like top to bottom, it hasn't shown up all the way. And Giannis certainly, those guys around Giannis, I think it saves their energy a little bit because they have such a good defensive anchor and such a good playmaker offensively to where they can kind of stand around. But when it's you guys against a team like that and no Giannis, then I see that it's apparent that sometimes they're just not showing up. And that effort is not showing up if they even have it.
I just I can only look at myself, and I stopped needing to be motivated by coaches in 8th grade. I didn't need that anymore. In any sport I played, and obviously I made my claim to fame off of individual sport, but when you look at your coaches should be able to draw up the plays and to be able to see something that you're lacking in and tell you, hey, you're off here, you're leaning here, whatever the sport is. And I just feel like with Doc, no matter what he does in this situation, because has he had a lot of mishaps as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach? Yeah, absolutely. Is all this on Doc? No, it's not. And we need to look at the entire collective of the Milwaukee Bucks, of why we're in this situation this year, of why this contract situation is this. And no matter what Doc says, if Doc says the sky is blue out there, half a Bucks social media is going to destroy him. I mean, but then if you sit here and you think back about it and you look at Doc's tenure, and did he ask to come here when he did? I don't know. But he came in a situation when he was going to win. Did he ask for Damian Lillard to show up not in shape the first year because he didn't want to hurt himself in Portland when he was working out? Did he ask for Giannis to get hurt and then go and play in Greece and get hurt again? No, he didn't. He's playing the game. He's playing the game with the cards that are dealt with him. Did he ask for Miles Turner, who Miles Turner is a very good basketball player with someone else around him that could set him up? But to look for Miles to clean up to set up his own shot, that's just not happening. It's never happened anywhere he was. Then you look at you look at guys like everybody in the chat and everybody on Twitter going, we talk about the same stuff with Bobby. Is Bobby playing defense? No. Is he ever going to play defense? No. You know who else didn't play defense? Glenn Big Dog Robinson. He got the same scrutiny that Bobby Portis gets now. Stop looking for dudes to be something that they're not. Oh, by the way, Bobby Portis is third in the history of the NBA in double-doubles off the bench. Third. So for all y'all thinking he can't hoop or he can't do this, he can't do that, that's just bullshit. Bobby is who he is. Jericho Sims is who he is. AJ Green is who he is. And stop looking for these dudes to be something that they're not. And Doc going to be the coach that he is. And you know what? We're going to bring someone else in here, and they're going to have the same problems. We had straight line drives with Bud. We had straight line drives with Doc. Hell, we had straight line drives with Larry Drew. This ain't a new thing to us.
So, and Justin, I agree with you. All of those points are 100% valid. I'll make this observation, and I think this should be unanimous. The honeymoon with Doc is over. The honeymoon with Doc is over. There's no question about that. Now, I agree with you, Justin. This team, you can't say this team loses games because of Doc, right? You can't say maybe some games you're like, man. So you can argue. You can argue. Let me revise. You can argue, yes, this team, loses some games as a Doc, but Doc's not the full issue, right? Doc's not here. But I think what kind of starting to bother some Bucks fans is you can't say this team is winning games because of Doc. You can't say this team is winning games because of some masterclass, the coaching by Doc in clutch moments, by we've seen the brilliance of Doc Rivers, Mr. 1,500 NBA wins or whatever he has, whatever number that's at now, 1,400. Like that's, I think, the issue that people are having is it's like, okay, this isn't on Doc. All this isn't on Doc, but the stuff that is on Doc, man, it's not helping. The stuff that's his response. So I think that's kind of the issue here is Doc's not a greenhorn, right? He's not a new booty. This dude, Doc been around this thing for a minute here. And it's like, we got this coach who's championship coach. We got this, and we getting here. And, hey, this ain't, boy, I ain't going to say Michael Jordan with the Wizards, but, sir, this is watered down. And I think that's the issue that a lot of fans are having with Doc.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I would agree with that assessment 100%, that you have a Doc Rivers who, to your point, he's not the reason that they are losing, but he's also he's not putting the guys in the right spot. He's not doing all that he could to get the most out of the team in general. He's not doing that. Jace Bucks in 6 says, dude on top far left, I think that's me. He says, needs to understand that the Raps were playing bad and they were without their center and RJ. No excuse for the Bucks to lose. What do you mean no excuse for the Bucks to lose this game? They're without. So you're telling me that because the Toronto Raptors were missing Jacob, Jakob? I was about to say Jacob. Jakob Portal and RJ Barrett, that's a bigger loss than the Bucks not having Giannis. Forget Kuzma. Not having Giannis. Like Giannis, I wouldn't take a trade straight up Jakob Portal and RJ Barrett for Giannis. So Giannis by himself is a bigger loss for not having him on in the lineup than Jakob Portal and RJ Barrett. And then, like I said, you don't have Kuzma as well. So yeah, no, I disagree that there's no excuses for the Bucks to lose the game. Yeah, I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just saying I didn't come into tonight thinking, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the one where we win this one easy. I that was not my thought process as this thing unfolded at the opening tip.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think if you just look around the league, right, like there are a lot of coaches, I think, that put guys into positions and maybe I think win games for their teams. And so that kind of puts you in a predicament. But it also, I mean, I don't think that they're going to take action unless this thing really bottoms out on Doc Rivers.
People in the chat.
Huh?
No, I was going to say, we got people in the chat talking about fire Doc to hire Tom Crean.
Yeah, see.
That's crazy.
I don't think that I just don't think they're on their wave to fire. Could they do it? They could do anything. I didn't think they're gonna fire Adrian Griffin, but could Doc Rivers get fired? Sure. But I think that'd be a mistake. I just don't think that bodes well for Giannis staying. Which you said, Chris, I want to get to this point. You said you just mentioned bottoming out. If you are to believe some of the reports that the Bucks are going to keep Giannis and that they are looking to they're looking to build around Giannis still for this year. If you are to believe those reports, at what point do you see the Milwaukee Bucks? Because again, there was a question with December 15th, people were available. So a lot of guys on many rosters were available to now be traded. Do you see the Milwaukee Bucks? They're going to do something, obviously, but how quickly? Because, like you said, you can't lose the next 10 in a row. You can't. At some point, John Horst has got to do something. How quickly do you see this thing bottoming out to where John Horst forces I don't know what you're going to call it, a quote unquote panic trade or anything like what do you see happening with this organization? How quickly do you see John Horst looking to make a move? Because again, as we're seeing, if we're playing a halfway competent basketball team, and hell, you lost by 45 to the Brooklyn Nets. But if you're playing a decent basketball team, I'm not going to say you don't have a chance, but without Giannis and anything else going wrong, it is very hard for the Milwaukee Bucks to find wins.
You're gonna think about this for a second. What are we? 28. We're 28 games into the season now, right? 11-17. We're 28 games into the season. So you're reaching the 30-game mark. To me, your panic is probably going to have to be somewhere between 30 to 40 games, somewhere in there. You got to look at making a move here. Like, look, you got halfway. And the closer you get to being at the halfway mark, and again, what our next game? Timberwolves. That might be an L. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that might be an L. Then you play the Pacers on the day before Christmas Eve. So all right, we should be able to beat the Pacers, right? We should. Come on, guys. We should be able to beat the Pacers. But then you got the Grizzlies on the 12th. We should hopefully be able to beat the Grizzlies. Hopefully be able to beat the Bulls. To me, that pressure, the pressure to make a move kind of builds with each loss, especially when you get to that 30 to 40 game or somewhere in between there. You've got to make a move. And the other thing is there may be other teams that are contenders and maybe other teams based on how their season shakes out who are willing to pay a bit more for someone who they think can really come in and help them too. So, yeah, I just think somewhere in the next 10 games, you're going to have to see a move from John Horst.
The issue is that I'm in agreement with somebody in the chat. It's like some of these names that are being floated around now, how often are those names actually accurate? How often do we actually act on those names when you talk about like Jeremy Grant and like Zach LaVine and stuff? How often is that going to be accurate? How often is John Horst going to pull something out of his hat and get somebody else? Now that could be true. That could eventually happen. But like some of those names, if they were to make a move for those names, I think most of it is lateral moves at this point. It's still going to be the same conversation, I think, with if Giannis is out, this team isn't going to have the ability to really, take control of this season and get back on the right track and get into those playoffs and even win games in the playoffs. So I would be kind of skeptical that a move for guys of the names of like Jeremy Grant and Zach LaVine could help propel this team to anything super special with the way that the roster is built right now.
I think you need a guy who can create their own shot. I mean, we talked about it earlier tonight with KPJ being the only guy that could. You're going to have to get a wing in here for that. I mean, that's why I think you see a lot of the talk about Zach LaVine. I'm not a huge fan of that, though. If I had to do one of those Kings players, it would obviously be DeMar DeRozan, because I think that he can create a shot for this year. Then you can get out of that contract next year if the unthinkable does happen or the catastrophe does happen where Giannis walks. But I don't know, man. Like, does Michael Porter Jr. do it like you were talking about earlier on 9 to Noon? And by the way, man, if all y'all in the chat and stuff like that, make sure y'all tune in to Trey once a week when he goes on 9 to Noon. And if you want your Packers feel and your Badgers feel and all that stuff, man, listen to them guys. All those guys over at, what is it, Wisconsin Sports Network now? Good stuff going on there. But I don't know if MPJ, like, it's a lot of guys that you could. But one thing that I would be very worried about, trading our Swiss Army knife to get back a guy, potentially, and any of these guys that have been rumored, that can't check anybody. Kyle Kuzma is your best defender on the team right now. He's also your best non-4 or 5 position on the court that can rebound the basketball when they put him in as a 3. He also moves the ball. He makes the right shot. And gosh darn it, his game is awkward as crap sometimes when he goes to the bucket, but he gets buckets. And JT, I think they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. I do. You know why I think that? Because when you listen to KPJ's interview earlier today, where he talked about how they get up for these big teams like your Boston Celtics, your Minnesota Timberwolves, and then they look over teams like the Brooklyn Nets. This team is in no shape or form to look over anybody. And the last thing I got is, man, like, I say it all the time, and I got it from my assistant coach in college, my swing coach, but he'd always tell us, man, you dudes don't know how to win. And it was pretty funny today when you watched Giannis, and he basically said, rest in peace, Jack Edgerton, what Jack said all the time to us. These Milwaukee Bucks don't know how to win. At some point, they got to click together, and maybe it's when 34 comes back on that court. I know it's a lot of talk in the chat that he'll never be back. I mean, Trey, you got more sources than anybody in the world. Have you heard something? Y'all, Chris, JT, y'all heard somewhere dude's just not coming back? Because I'm confused.
We'll talk. I want to talk about the comments that he made at the point. He had a 25-minute interview or presser today too that we can get into. Which interesting comments that he made, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I've not heard anything about whether that he's not coming back or anything like that. So we can only go on what he says and some of the reports that we've seen. And again, what the Bucks are posturing, because right now we do know the reports out there posturing that they are looking to build up the roster around him. Chris, you said that you thought the moves that are being discussed right now are marginal. I think that's the term you use, or lateral is the term you use, and they wouldn't really make a difference. And to Justin's point, when you hear a Michael Porter Jr., I think when I hear MPJ, I think that, like, I like him. And I see what he's doing in Brooklyn. He's like a better Kyle Kuzma, because he has the size, he can defend, and he just shoots the ball much better. Has much more on the offensive side of his game. Yeah, Liger says apparently Giannis doesn't talk to his agent. Right, that's hilarious. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But MPJ is. But here's my issue. I'd rather have a Kuzma and an MPJ. You need more wings, not so. To me, to send out 2 first-round picks and a Bobby and a Kuzma for a Cam Thomas and an MPJ with a couple of the first-round pick and a swap. to me, again, do I think that gives you the scoring upgrade with Caleb Thomas? And then it also gives you this a Kyle Kuzma replacement. Yes. But my thing, I'd much rather. Everybody's looking for more of those 6'9" guys that can defend and shoot the three and be those. Not so to do the swap to me. I don't get like again. I don't know the Bucks to do it. I would much rather test my luck on a below or average center to try and bring out Miles Turner and keep. Kuzma's been the more consistent player. Now again, maybe that's a Doc Rivers thing. I don't know, but I'd rather have more wings than less and figure it out with just because you talk about lateral moves, Chris. I think you can upgrade this roster marginally if you get those guys. What we just finished talking about, guys that motivate themselves, guys a dog like what did your boy PJ Tucker say? Dogs. You need guys that are barking, right? That want to go out and want to go grab rebounds, that want to go do the dirty work. Can I get one of those? Again, I'm not trying to disparage Miles Turner at all, but a guy that wants to do that dirty work, rebounding the basketball and making those extra hustle plays and defense. I'd rather have a couple more of those guys. And again, your issue with doing that though is when Giannis does come back in the fold, maybe that guy's not as skilled to hit those open threes and stuff. And I get that. I'd rather work with that and try to figure that out versus swapping Kyle Kuzma to then try to bring in a guy that's a little bit better than Kyle Kuzma but does the exact same thing. Like even like people saying Herb Jones and Murphy, you're talking these wings, and I like those options. Again, you guys tell me I'm crazy. I really think Kyle Kuzma has bought into the role, and I would hate to see him. I would just hate to see him go because I think, again, not that I think he's playing up to the level of his contract, but for what he's doing, I think he's found the role here. And he's doing what like you say, he's best defender on the basketball team. He's finding ways to score. He actually passes pretty well. Like he's doing all those little things that we would basically ask somebody else to come in and do those exact same things, but we're just saying, hey, are you going to do those better?
And that's a good point. That's a good point. When I look at it, I look at it as the net benefit, right? Because the new product, you're 100% right. If Kyle Kuzma has assimilated into his role in this team, he's elevated his game from last year. He's cut down on. He does the little things right. He does, and he's just a bigger guy. He's a bigger wing defender. I think the thing about it though is if you're going to get rid of him, if you're going to ship Kyle Kuzma out, it would have to be a clear upgrade. But again, when we talk about that net benefit, is it a better shooter? Okay, but is he a worse defender? Is he not a hustler? You know what I mean? Like I can see your point there, where it's like it's actually harder to replace Kyle Kuzma than it sounds, based on what Kyle Kuzma is doing this year for this team, and based on the names that they're floating around out there. So I don't know what's valid or what's not, because they talked about. I keep seeing reports of names the Bucks have targeted in the past, right?
Correct. That's what I've seen.
Who they're currently targeting. I mean, I've seen some names that could be a fit or could be here, but yeah, but I haven't seen anything credible about who's currently on the table for the Bucks and who could potentially be moved.
Well, I think on the table for the Bucks. I mean, I would assume. I think the name. I think everybody's really on the. I think the big question is Miles Turner available? I think that's because I think we know Bobby's available. I think we pretty much know Kuz is definitely, because again, Kuz just from a contract standpoint, it's something that you could use. So I understand why he's available, and I would understand if they had to get rid of him. Bobby Portis is another contract guy. Those are your two big contracts. AJ Green's not available to be traded, and then Ryan Rollins is not available to be traded until I believe January the 15th. I guess you could technically, if you want to trade KPJ, I wouldn't advise doing that. But then all of your other marginal players on the bench are available as well too. But I think the real question is how available is Miles Turner? And that one I've heard conjecture, but I don't know that there's been any reliable source that has said the Bucks are considering move. I heard people say it would be a good idea, or that maybe the Bucks would be interested in doing it, but I have not heard anywhere that the Bucks are actively shopping Miles Turner. And again, that would be another big piece. Because again, I could see John Horst doing not just Bobby and Mal, not a combination of two. I could see him shipping out all three and doing a Cleveland Cavaliers type, trading half the roster, for LeBron when they traded out D Wade and all them boys, and they just brought in a whole different roster, before the deadline. I could see it. But we'll see how that what that ends up as. But again, I think we all agree that if John Horst wants to do something and if he does make a move, that means they got to be keeping Giannis. If he's giving out first round picks, that means Giannis has got to be staying with the Bucks at least for the rest of the year. And again, they're going to press their luck. What I will also say is you ask me about things I know is that there's no question the Bucks do not want to trade Giannis. I think there are some people talking about, and I think that's why they're going to make Giannis. They're going to make Giannis ask out if he wants to do that. And I don't know that. Again, basically his comments today. Again, we'll get into it, but I don't know that he's ready to have that conversation with the Milwaukee Bucks at all.
Well, should we get to the Giannis press conference?
Yeah, let's do that. So Giannis, I'll be quick and let you guys kind of get in. Giannis did have had a press conference. He stated during his presser, one of the quotes was, "If my agent is talking to the Bucks, he can have any conversations he wants." He says he personally has not had conversations with the Bucks, which again I didn't understand that one at all. I'm trying to see there was some more comments. He basically so it's essentially what he said. Well, he made a joke about how he was the hottest chick on the market, and everybody's out there to get him. And things of that nature. But then he did say that all he's focused on and worried about is getting back healthy. And he talks about his teammates and wanting to get back for them. But I thought that was the interesting point that he made there, that one, he has not actually he himself has not had a conversation with John Horst and management. He says he's locked in with his teammates, locked in on his team. But then two, this notion, and this is Giannis's problem. This is where my issue lies. He leaves this door open. Clayton Landon 6389 says Giannis said nothing wrong. Dustin Myers says, "Come on, Trey. His comments made it perfectly clear. He's 1 foot out and he's 1 foot out of the door." James Moore says he doesn't have to ask out. And what I'm telling you is, James, he is going to have to ask out because he's under control for the Milwaukee Bucks. They are. I'm guessing. This part I'm guessing. I'm not telling you something. I'm guessing. I don't think they're going to let him off the hook and say, "Hey, we want to join in your PR campaign and make sure you don't look like the bad guy leaving up out of here." I think he's going to have to. I think they're going to make him ask out and say, "I don't want to be here. Trade me XYZ." And then at that point, yeah, if you say you don't want to be here, I'm with the Bucks. You got to work on whatever type of release you have to work on, which is fine. But the issue I have with his comments it is kind of wishy-washy. It is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yep. When you say, I have not talked to my agent, or that better yet, that your agent is free to have conversations without you, and you don't know, and it's just this plausible deniability thing that he wants to run with. But the thing is crazy. In the next breath, he said, "I know my agent works for me." It's not the other way. Yes, the agent works for the player. And this idea, I think some fans, I don't know if people in the chat, some fans have this idea that the agent would ever go rogue. Agents don't go rogue, man. They don't do it. Because if they did, if the next contract that he's up for is worth $300 million, and I can't trust that you're going to do what I say, you're not going to get the proceeds from that, buddy. You can get fired going behind my back, doing things I don't want you to do. So that I'm just telling you, that is a bold-faced lie. He either thinks we are stupid, or he's either stupid, or his PR team, or he thinks we're stupid. That does not work. Acting as if you don't know what's happening you've either given the direction. Hey, go ahead and do this, but I'm out of it. But go ahead and do X. But he's had to do something. You don't not know nothing. That's just a lie. It's just a lie.
as an agent, you have fiduciary duties, right? You have the duty of loyalty to your client. You got to keep them informed. You got confidentiality. You got to act in your client's best interest here. You can't act in your client's best interest if you're not speaking with them actively about this. And quite honestly, any offer, anything, the agent has to bring back to its client. So Giannis, this is what's embarrassing to me is Giannis makes these halfway in, halfway out statements, but again, he still has the opportunity to dead all of this by saying, I'm here through the rest of the year. I do not want to be traded. I want to be here through the rest. You could very easily end all of this, but yet it's almost like it's weird. It's like the girl who's never gotten attention before. Now she gets attention. It's just doing goofy. It just makes absolutely no sense. And Giannis has been a baller for what you like. You don't have to act like this. Like it just. And then I'm gonna take this shot here at the weak ass Milwaukee media because the lack of follow-up questions are really getting at him. It's just you letting this dude skate with these bullshit answers. How y'all not like, wait, no, flag on the play here. We about to go ahead and ask you point blank. Like how they just let this dude get up there and say a bunch of nothing and waste everybody's time is unbelievable, right? Like who believes this? He says, well, I'm locked in. I'm here on these guys. Yeah, I bet you are right now, but what are you doing behind the scenes? And to actually act like I have no idea what my agent's doing. Come on, man. Nobody believes this. And what I really do think, though, honestly, is I think a lot of Bucks fans love Giannis, but I do think that like people endear. I do think people's opinion of him is going to change eventually if he keeps playing these games and doing this, unless Horst makes a big trade and Giannis stays and signs an extension. But if that doesn't happen, I think whatever Giannis's goal is of, I don't want to make it look this way, I don't want to play this game too, at some point it's going to be a bit cowardly. And I do think it's going to hurt your reputation or image or whatever it is you're trying to cultivate with Bucks fans. Like at some point you have to keep this thing a buck. You're going to have to keep this thing up. Somebody going to be honest. Because right now it feels like somebody's lying. Specifically Giannis.
Right, and it feels like it'll kind of ruin that reputation. Maybe not ruin it, but just kind of put a dent in that reputation because he's kind of leaving his agent on the hook for any trade that may happen in the foreseeable future instead of him actually owning it and come out and say, hey, I'm not happy anymore. I want to go chase a ring or whatever he wants to do. He's leaving his agent on the hook for that. And the reason I can't believe that is the fact that, okay, your agent's been talking a whole damn lot the last 5 to 6 years then at that point. Your agent has been talking to the GM a lot. He's been in those conversations a lot because if that's where all this stuff is coming from, if he's telling us that the agent is doing all these talks or all these conversations with John Horst and the Bucks organization and the Bucks front office, then that tells a whole lot. It says that how long has this been brewing? How long has the agent been just the sole contact for Giannis's camp? Why are you letting him do that? And yeah, I think everybody is on the hook here. Like I think the Milwaukee media is on the hook for letting him get away with these stupid ass dad jokes that, hey, it might hit when they're winning, but guess what? 11-16 at this point. Those aren't funny anymore. We want to know the true answer. We want to hear it from you, and also the Milwaukee Bucks fans that eat that stuff up. Like you're basically letting him off the hook for making some I think excuse that the agent is talking to the front office because of a dad joke. Like let's get real here. Let's get real. Let's address the real stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how you not hit that follow-up question? Like, wait a minute. So are you saying your agent is acting without your guidance here? Your agent has how you not holding this dude's feet to the fire here with this? Like, wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you only Milwaukee media you can get away with this. Only in Milwaukee could you get away with this. Because in any other bigger market, people would have asked you 1,001 follow-up questions, and you'd have looked dumb. Somebody on the team would have grabbed you up out of there and be like, okay, that's enough. You look crazy.
Right, like how do you feel about being the hottest chick on the market right now? How do you feel about that? Why is this happening? Why are you the hottest chick on the market? Man, nobody thought to ask that. Everybody just slapping their knee he-heing about the stupid joke, and then they go on to the next question. Like, what is that? That's terrible media.
Well, if he pushes this narrative and he gets traded to one of those bigger markets, I think that's when he'll start to see that the home cooking was a lot better than what you had, because you go to Miami, you try this crap, you go to the New York Knicks, or hell, even Brooklyn is still New York media. You go anywhere else in the country and you're going to get berated by this stuff. I mean, so absolutely. So, like, I've seen this from a Green Bay standpoint, and I'm not even going to talk about Rodgers. I'm just talking about Favre for a second, where he completely divided the entire fan base. Congratulations, Mr. Antetokounmpo. That's what you've done. You have the war of Bucks fans, from the ones that want to trade him versus the ones that want to keep him. You have everything in a bunch of obscurity right now. I feel bad for the guys that we have in this locker room right now. I feel bad for John Horst. I feel bad for Doc Rivers. I feel bad for Bucks fans, for everyone. You can shut this stuff down at least for this year and still have the whole thing in front of you, and you choose not to do that. Like Chris said, you make jokes. You think it's funny. It's a whole lot of people that set their weeknights up based on where 34 is going. I just got to hope that this is that Kobe Bryant stuff at the end of the Lakers, and then they brought in Paul Gasol and Mark Gasol and all this other stuff, and it completely changed the whole duration of the Lakers. And they came back when Shaq was gone and they won a bunch. But he should be committed here because everything around Milwaukee is committed to him. Everything. You can't go anywhere in that state. And Trey, you know it as well as I do. We done been to games in Charlotte where there were 12 Bucks fans, counting my 2 kids and me. And now you can't even get anywhere on the Bucks side of the sideline and stuff like that. It's like that in DC. It's like that in Atlanta. It's like that in Chicago. It's here, it's there. Hey, bro, you got to stay the same way that you supported this city for 13 years. Everybody supported you. And it's a slap in the face to us Bucks fans. It's a slap in the face to the city of Milwaukee. I don't know what else you're looking for. They changed the roster for you to give you everything you want, and it's still not good enough. So, I don't know, man. It's tough to say you're done with the cat because that's tough, but I understand why the chat goes crazy. I understand why social media goes crazy. I mean, hopefully he's just being coy and he comes back and he stays with us forever. But, I mean, it's a whole lot of Antetokounmpo stuff. It's a whole lot of Giannis sneakers going on eBay the minute he signs with someone else. And just for the record, because I couldn't say it when I didn't have no voice, I hope you lose everywhere else you go other than Milwaukee. And that's any player.
Let me ask you guys a question here, because loyalty, right? Giannis's whole thing with Bucks fans, and some Bucks, oh, he's so loyal. I think some people are delusional. Some people want to believe something there. So the loyalty has been there, right? Well, that's you can't argue that. He's been loyal. But do you feel like by playing these games with, am I leaving? Am I out here? The team missing the playoffs 3 straight years, the team being bounced in the first round of playoffs 3 straight years. Him still going and playing in Greece despite the fact that some of those years he'd been injured and couldn't be there for his team, and this whole thing. Do you think there's cracks in that loyalty based on his actions a little bit, or do you think a lot of Bucks fans are starting to feel like, this ain't it? Like the guy we thought he was, we're not seeing that now. Something has changed here with him. Because I got to tell you, based on actions and what you've seen as of late, it's fair for people to question, like, how loyal is this? But when you're not shutting this stuff down, you're not like. And I get the fans who are like, he can say whatever and he'll make up. No, that's not true. That's not true. See, that's the problem. Trey just hit it on the head. He says these ambiguous statements. It's 1 foot in, this 1 foot out. He dances around the question and doesn't answer anything straight up, right? He leaves the door open intentionally, so there's a degree of gamesmanship here. But literally, he comes out and says, I'm not getting traded this year. I would refuse to trade anywhere this year. I am with these guys, and I'm riding with them until the season's over. Do with that as you may. Okay, so now if you say that, we got to take you at your word and believe you, right? Like, and that's a clear message to the rest of the league. But he has not done that. And I don't get. I get at the beginning of the year he said, I'm a Buck for now or whatever. I reserve the right to change my mind in 6-7 months. Like, okay, well that definitely opens a door that you'd never publicly opened before too. And then now you're seeing this. I don't know, guys. I don't think the loyalty. I think the loyalty thing is slowly going out the window. I think that's disappointing because Trey is right. Trey says every show. The Bucks have done everything they could to support him. The Bucks have done everything they could to support him. Some moves didn't work here, but they've done everything possible to support him. And if you don't want to be here, you're going to have to man up, sir. You're going to have to man up and just, hey, yeah, I'm across the trade. It is what it is. Rip that Band-Aid off. Because I do think, and another point is, this team is in limbo until they know, are you in or are you not?
Well, to your question about his loyalty and things he said. I've kind of straddled the fence on as far as statements, but to me, my issue is the actual statements. Like, I would have much rather him not said anything about this trade stuff, and if he wanted to me, you might say, hey, listen, I'm blocking out. I would have rather you said, I'm blocking out all noise. Refer to my previous statement. Refer to my statement on where I am before the year. Something like that. But my issue is just the line. I don't talk to my agent. That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, yeah, then clearly you're saying things that don't make sense. Daryl Clayton with the super chat. He says, real talk, him laughing pisses me off with some bitch shit. Laughing in our face, thinking we're gonna fall for laughing in our face, thinking we're gonna fall for it. He doesn't know he doesn't know what's going on. Was he fake humble? Was it an act the whole time? Listen, and I hear those sentiments. I don't think he's fake humble. I think he's at a point where he's trying. But I think he's at a point where he's trying to appease everybody, and I think that is a point. I think that's what I think. And one of the people he's trying to appease is himself, because I think his whole goal is, I want to win at all costs. I want to be in a position to win. And again, is he going to look at himself because he was injured? He's never going to be like, I'm the reason we lost. That's never, and I don't blame him for that. But it's just one of those things where, in trying to please everyone, you can end up pleasing nobody, because you have Bucks fans who like Justice said, cater their schedules to when Giannis is going to be on, to where Giannis is going to. That's what they do. And when you are given a statement like with all the rumors that are surrounding, and you say, you know, he could be talking to people. I don't know. Maybe he's talking to people. Maybe not. I couldn't tell you. I'm not it. That's not. It's not a good look. It's not a good. I would rather you say nothing, and because that way, if you say nothing, because here's the thing: if it comes out any place at the end of the year, I would be touting it too. Like, see, told you they was lying. Told you they didn't do it. Listen to me. You could have played that off by saying nothing, and then getting past the trade deadline and be like, dog, stop listening to this media. Man, when I tell y'all something, listen to me. You could have played that off. But when you when you kind of give credence to some of these reports, you can't even come back after the fact. Or I guess you can be like, well, I told you. Because I think that's what he's going to do. I 100%. If he's still in Milwaukee after the trade deadline, he's going to come back and act like, told you I was loyal. Told you I'm down. And he's going to run this thing out again. And again, we'll be playing it again in the offseason, I guess.
But the people fall for that. The people believe that. The people fall for it. I don't know what my aim. Come on, bro. Like, that's what that's what I'm saying. Like, it just feels like there's more to something's going on here. I don't know what. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea if Horst is calling. The reports I see is the Bucks aren't taking calls. Right, so the Bucks aren't taking. That's the report.
Well, and JT, and that is correct. But the reason the Bucks aren't taking calls is, and to Giannis's point or whatever, there has not been a formal trade request. And and what I can tell you, what I do know about the Milwaukee Bucks is they are not looking. I think, like somebody in the chat said, you know, we got people in the chat. Quick Draw McGraw, people in the chat worried about a 7th grader, and people worry about picks. And again, I always hate that kind of stuff when people are trying to play GM and they're like, well, if you get 7 picks and we'll be able to compete in 2029. And listen, man, y'all, you can play that game all you want to about what people could be and should. I'm old enough to remember when people were saying Evan Mobley was going to be the next Giannis. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember when Evan Mobley was supposed to be the next Giannis? I remember that.
Who did?
And now he's potentially on the block. Well, would you give Evan Mobley for Giannis? Because the Cleveland Cavaliers and so all those young guys, Jalen Johnson, maybe he'll turn to something, maybe he won't. But you have, it's always when I'm going to trade off my superstar to try to find another superstar is like, it's insane. And that's where the Bucks are. I'm telling you, the Bucks are in a position where they have made it very clear they do not want to trade Giannis. And the only way they're going to trade him is if he asks to be traded and he signals he does not want to be in Milwaukee. Then I can see them looking for it. But yes, you're right, JT. Until that happens, until there's a conversation about an actual trade request and they go through that process, they're going to look to upgrade their roster because, again, I think, and nobody, we don't talk about this anymore like it's on the table, but it is October 1, 2026. They can slide a piece of paper over to them and say, here's $300 million. Stay here for the next 4 years. I know nobody talks about it. That option is on the table. The option is also on the table that after 2026, he still has a player option. He's like, you know what? I'll give you guys another year. He could sign that and give you a player and stay here for 2 more years. Both of those, all those options are still. I just want to make sure chat. It's just not a foregone conclusion that when this year runs out, if it runs out, that there's no way Giannis is ever back in Milwaukee. Like I again, maybe that it looks slim and bleak and all. That option is still on the table. I'll tell you that.
So somebody makes a good point. He says nothing. You tell him to address it, but now you tell him not to. And I think the thing, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, right? So do you want to clear that up with Giannis? Because I think what you were, my thought of what you were saying is he might as well said nothing versus getting out there trying to lie to everybody about not knowing what his agent doing, knowing nothing about this, acting like he's a completely separate entity from his agent. I think that's what I'm assuming you were saying. But you want to clear that up?
What I'm saying, yeah, you 100%. That's what you should do. You should say nothing versus saying what you really did was confuse people even more. That's what you did. You made it more confusing. Just an update, JT, and the chat as well. The Rams came down and scored in overtime. Seattle came back and scored as well, and they are with 3 minutes left in overtime. Both teams are 11-3. And I think this is the right decision. This is where you go for. You don't go for 2 down, 8 and whatever. This is where you go for 2. Because now you go for 2. You hit this, you win the game. I like this. Yeah, I ain't playing for no tie. I like this move for Seattle. You go for 2 here, had a couple timeouts, and then there's 3, and then they're gonna we'll see what happens. But and again, if you lose, you lose. But I like that move. Sorry, Derek Clayton 46. He's fence riding. Yes, he is. He is. Dustin Watt. Let me see this. Dustin Watt says the Bucks are finally open to move on from Giannis. Having sources say they are not taking offers is evidence they are actually what. So having sources say they're not taking offers means they are taking offers. Okay, I respectfully disagree.
Hey,
oh wow, Seahawks won it on the 2-point over, wide open. Sam Darnold. Wow, that's a big dub for Seattle. Wow. Okay.
Hey, if you man, first of all, y'all watching all this football, and I was up here getting my heart broken by these Badgers in this women's volleyball Final Four, crapped the bed and lost to Kentucky. But I'm just gonna say this, man, and I've been trying to be real candid and choiceful with my words when it comes to Giannis, because I think he's absolutely everything this city needed at the time when they needed it. But you said this is my effing city in some form or whatever. And you see the obscurity going on right now. Like, the house is burning down. And you standing outside with the fire department and the fire extinguishers, and you just throwing gasoline on it with the goofy dad jokes that were funny when I was in 2nd grade. Them joints ain't funny now. And you keep perpetuating this stuff over and over again. Like, it's old. But then you get guys in there like King of Kings. You know, he's an avid Pistons fan, but he follows us, and we appreciate you, homie, because he's a Giannis fan. So, of course, he's going to feel sorry for Giannis. Like, you got to look at the whole totality of this. Hey, man, he gave pressure to John Horst. John Horst got rid of Eric Bledsoe, brought in Drew Holiday, brought us a chip. He wanted Dame Lillard. We brought it here. We got half the damn Antetokounmpo family on our roster right now. There's nothing left the Milwaukee Bucks could do for this dude. And
listen to your point, though, that's the other thing that could be happening here is, and not everybody talks about this either. Could the agent be doing this? Could this be a ploy So yeah, I don't really want to leave Milwaukee. I want you to know I can leave Milwaukee. So you better keep going and get. I want more guys. Go again. And because again, remember one of the things he's also said is you got to show me you want to win a championship. Show me how committed you are. And yeah, if you like bet, I'll trade these first round picks 2031. Forget them picks. I'll trade more picks. I'll bring you somebody else. Maybe that's what he's looking for. Is show me that, and that keeps. I don't know.
But I don't understand why you think you have to do that when the team's already shown you they're gonna do everything they put you in a position to win. Like I don't understand this.
But my question is, if you're Giannis, do you think you're the reason they did? Do you think the reason they did that is because there were always these underlying threats of maybe he goes, maybe he doesn't, and it's or is it you better figure this out?
But if you're Milwaukee, right? So here's what I don't like is Milwaukee's done everything they could. They have accommodated this man. Like they haven't shut down him playing over in Greece in the offseason, even when he hasn't finished the regular season here. I've not heard the organization not one time. I've not heard a single source from that organization say, yeah, we really wish he wouldn't play over there in that tournament. Yeah, we don't really think he needs to be over there playing that tournament. It's his choice, but
they can't.
I didn't see them not once. Thank you. Right. They're willing to play this game with this dude, regardless of the fact that if he's available for this team at the end of the season or not. I know he was last year, but the couple of years before he was not. They've done everything possible from trade to big moves. They got Dr. Griffin out there mid-season when this team was balling to bring in a guy like Doc because Giannis didn't get along. I mean, I just don't understand. Why do you keep needing to make this point? I'm ready to leave if you don't do what I want. Come on, man. Like, at some point, you got to hold up your end of the bargain, though, right? At some point, you got to hold up your end of the bargain, too. Look, we got the championship in 2021. Great. We make it to the second round of next year. Not so great, but okay. All right, so what have you done for me lately? Right? Like, what have you done? I mean, people can say, well, Giannis has been top of the MVP points and only been okay. But what has it led to? Because we still can't get out the first round. And right now, we got a team where, I don't know about y'all, but I'm just hoping we get a damn seed and we're not in the play-in. Right? Like, I mean, so.
We not even in the play-in right now. And matter of fact, we only a game in front of the damn Charlotte Hornets now. Mm-hmm. But, hey, and my bad, Chris. Look, you said all that shit, JT, and you spot on. He did all that shit for a goddamn bronze medal.
In a point,
and it's not even an Olympic medal. It's the damn European medal.
Nobody gives.
Your ass ain't available here. And Giannis, one thing you don't know, Father Time is undefeated. The older you get, that body gonna continue to break down. But meanwhile, and that's why these other franchises are hesitant about giving you that $300 million extension. But here we come. We'll do it.
Well, listen.
And I think we should, by the way.
I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody else is going to give that man a $300 million extension, especially now with the injuries and all this other stuff piling up, they're shutting that Greece thing down. There's no way in hell that I am not going to inherit this problem.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because they're not because they don't have they can't. You can't. No, I'm telling you, when you have because he holds all the cards. You can't.
You're telling me right now that their lawyers cannot put language in there saying no, you cannot play basketball.
And he's gonna say I'm not signing this. I'm not signing long term with you.
He can do that if he wants to, but then again, all right. Well, then you box yourself in the corner. If the Bucks are the only team willing to play this game, well, then you have no leverage.
I think other teams. I think that is. let me put it like this. I think other teams don't want to trade pieces. I think they give them the contract to do it. I don't think they want to trade their young pieces they think they have and do that and basically mortgage the entire future for that. But I think if they could open up cap space in the summer, when he walks, there's no question somebody give him max, no question. And they let him play in Greece to do it too. Yeah, this is for whatever it's a Milwaukee Bucks tax for whatever reason. Teams make us pay this extra tax. The other team, like I saw the other day, Herb Jones is gonna go for 2 first-round picks for some reason. Giannis wouldn't go for double and triple and quadruple that, but Herb Jones is worth 2 first-round picks. So again, this tax the Bucks got to pay on top players. I'll never understand.
What Desmond Bane go for?
Right,
4 or 5, right? 4 or 5 first-round picks.
I think it was 4.
Well, Rudy went for 4 and like 3.
Rudy went for like 6, didn't he? Derek Clayton was
JT and Chris, my bad. JT and Chris don't want them first round picks because y'all two brothers have alluded to John Horst as a drafter. So we get 7 first round picks. What we doing with it?
Well, the question you got to ask is from what team? Because like if you're getting 7 first round picks from a team that's a contender that's picking in the late 20s, absolutely not. I don't want those picks. Right. I mean, unless we're going to trade them, I don't want to see us actually use bodies with those picks. Absolutely not. I don't need to see John Horst pick from 20 to 37 more times. I already know how this movie ends. Like, no, I don't. Now, if you pick it from a team that more likely than not is going to be a lottery pick, then I would be open to having that many picks. But, you know, if it's going to be a team that's a competitor or a playoff team, absolutely not. Nope, do not get that man seven first round.
Well, I think when you talk about the 7 picks, you're talking about you're talking about into the future because there's only one a year, so you're only talking about those picks that are your goal. I guess your hope would be that maybe they're, and again, remember, you can't at this point you can't trade consecutive picks in a row. Like you can't trade 26, 27. So you have to do it every 2 years. So I think your hope would be Giannis breaks down and maybe this first pick ain't worth nothing in 28, but that 2030 pick is worth, that 2032 pick is going, y'all going to be trash at that point. That I think that's your goal or your hope. And then you can either package those picks or do whatever. Derek Clayton with a super chat says, some point the Bucks have to put their foot down and say, dog, you've been hurt. Your wants are not working. Play ball. He's 31, trending to be injury prone. That is true as well on the injury thing.
I can't deny that. And again, I'm gonna say, because y'all can tell, by the way, I hate the fact that he plays in Greece. Y'all can tell, oh, well, we got another lower body extremity injury. Well, extra wear and tear. Is it possible that maybe you wouldn't break down if you didn't play? Yeah. I mean, I just can't. Like, maybe if you actually let your body rest, you wouldn't break down instead of frolicking around for 6 weeks. I can't.
I hate the Greece stuff too. I don't hear no way you can stop it, but yeah, I hate it as well. Mark Gomes says Giannis doesn't owe y'all a damn thing. He should be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Bucks don't have leverage, things of that nature. But again, and I think he's talking about all things Giannis gave the Bucks. The only thing I say is, Mark, the Bucks gave this team is in this situation. Again, they won a championship because of Giannis, but they're also in the situation they are in today because of Giannis. They've done everything for him that he's asked for. So that's where we're on this. Anything else?
I got a question for Mark. Just Mark. Are you a Bucks fan before Giannis? Are you a Bucks fan after Giannis, or are you just a Giannis fan?
My question for Mark is, he said he's Giannis, not Embiid. How many playoff seasons has Embiid won in the last 3 years?
Same amount as Giannis.
Thank you. All right, listen, right? I'm talking about what have you done lately? Like, the reality of it is yes, Giannis is not Embiid, but you know what? They both have not been successful over the last 3 seasons either. They both have been woefully unsuccessful the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, no, it's been that is true. All right, let's get you guys anything else before we go back to the game tonight, and we'll go to Twitter and then we'll hit game balls and look around and get up out of here. It is midnight on the East Coast.
Dude don't want to answer the question.
I got nothing else on the game. They lost. So
one day we gonna string some of these joints together and stuff like that, man.
You hope.
All this, hope. Yeah, definitely hope. It's a whole campaign in this joint, man. I just, you see all this stuff, and it's, man, I know you said on the game, but it just pisses me off. Giannis economically made Milwaukee. He absolutely did, but let's not, like, it's a 50-50 relationship. For everything Giannis did for Milwaukee, had he not been a Milwaukee Buck, maybe he's not Giannis. Had he not been coached by Jason Kidd, maybe he's just sitting at the end of the bench as an athletic dude. There's hella athletic dudes in the NBA that never amount to anything.
Listen,
so the fact that Jake, I just get tired of it, JT. I get so tired, man. Like, Giannis did this, Milwaukee did this. Mark, we don't know who the hell you like. clearly you a Giannis nutsack chaser, so you go chase his nutsack wherever the hell he go. The hell out of here with that bullshit.
So what I don't understand. Wow. Here's what I don't understand is I feel like Giannis got a chip. Okay, so you're happy living with 2021 and virtually been unsuccessful for the next 5 seasons after that, right? Well, by that standard, that doesn't work for the Bucks. They fired the coach that brought him a chip in 2021. They're not hanging on that. And that doesn't seem to work for Giannis because he's continuing to put pressure on his team to get better and to move and win forward since 2021. He's not resting on that and going, well, we want a chip in 2021. I'm cool with it. Yeah, whatever happens, happens. I'm cool with it. No, he's putting pressure on his organization to make all the moves that he wants to try to put this team in a competitive spot. So that analysis by Mark just doesn't work. It doesn't make logical sense here to say he's got a chip in 2021. So no, what does that mean? Because Giannis don't care about that chip in 2021. The organization doesn't care about that chip in 2021. The coaches don't care about that chip in 2021. The owners don't care about that chip in 2021. Yes, it's nice that this team broke a 47-year spell, but the practical reality of it is how many playoffs have we had since 2021? Can anybody count for me? Anybody tell me how many playoffs have we won? We got out of the first round once? Was it 5?
I believe so.
Yep. 4 years. Has it been? How many playoffs have been since that 2021 year? Well, whatever the number is, we've only got out the first round once. So
I think Giannis is 1-10 in his last 11 playoff games that he's played. Is that something like that?
I mean, it makes no sense. And so Justin, your point is right. Is he a Bucks fan? Is he just a Giannis? What are you talking about? I don't understand where this is going. But you know what I will say? Mark represents a lot of Bucks fans. They're confused. They really are just confused. Like, you don't expect this team to be competitive. Okay, well, we won a championship in 2021, so I can just watch these goofy highlights on Twitter and feel good about, regardless of whatever's going on currently. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to nostalgia. I'm just going to go ahead and be obsessed with nostalgia. I'm going to hang on to this, right? What my man from Mary Matilda, Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns in a Polk High game.
Polk High.
He's living that thing out 30-something years later, talking about I had 4 touchdowns in a Polk High game. Come on, man. It made any damn sense.
Hey, just one last point, man. And Mark, I hear everything you're saying, and I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree, man. Definitely appreciate you rocking with us. All I'm gonna say is this, man. What, Giannis don't owe us anything? The hell he don't. We got his damn podcasting brother on the bench right now. And his other brother in Oshkosh. Them 2 dudes probably not even in the NBA if it's not for Giannis. So, Mark, spoiled brats? We goddamn Bucks fans.
Okay, I think he's trolling this, but he's not serious. Like, he can't be serious talking about we got a championship in 2021. Y'all sound like spoiled brats when we just went down and broke down what's happened over the last 4 years. Come on, man. Like, he's not serious. Like, I'm not paying him any more mind because there's zero analysis of the stuff that he's saying. Like, there is. I don't get it, Mark. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Mark believes that he don't know what his agents say. All right, we go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, and I think again, this is the problem. I think this is a good example. This is the problem, and this is how it will stay until either February 5th passes, or until either until February 5th passes, or until this thing is worked out before that. So you have another 2 months of this is how it's gonna go. I will say, I saw someone in the chat say that the locker room's got to be awkward right now. I don't think it. I don't think it is. I think everybody's grown. Everybody understands the business is the business, and I believe the team when they say Giannis has told those guys to stay focused and locked in. I don't think, again, could it be somewhat distracting? Maybe. But do I think they go into the game and they lose to the Raptors because Giannis trade rumors? No, I do not. I think they lost tonight because they ain't good enough.
And it's next man up. It is what it is. Everybody. Now, I agree with you. It is awkward. Where it gets awkward is if he gets cleared and he's sitting out, or he gets cleared and it's just weird. It's not.
That would be awkward. Awkward.
That's where it would get awkward. Or if players start getting asked more and more questions, and if you get a reporter that gets in there and they ask him questions, well, he's saying he doesn't know what his agent like. that could be a bit uncomfortable there.
But that's the thing. How could you ask? You had Giannis for 25 minutes today, and you didn't want to go. So you can't come back and start asking everybody else. You had 25, and for that part, I will say this: I do respect that Giannis went out there because what we talk about, go, you sit and go face the music, go talk to people. He went out, and again, I don't agree with everything he said, or I thought he could have said it better, but he went out there and he showed his face. He ain't hide. He ran out there and turned the mic on and made comments. So no, I don't think you can go back to other players and ask. You had him. And it wasn't like he went up there, gave you a statement and left. He stayed up there for 25 minutes, told jokes and everything. So you had all the opportunity in the world to talk to Giannis today. You chose, and the answers you got and the answers you got. You should not be going back to KPJ or Miles Turner or Kyle and asking them nothing else about trade rumors.
Just because you shouldn't, I mean, you won't. Just
well, that would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous.
I agree with you. But it was ridiculous at the Bucks that he had that press conference and nobody asked decent follow-up questions. Nobody tried to press him on any of this stuff. They sat up there and laughed with him. They sat up there and acted like they was just happy to be talking to him. I mean, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know what the point of it was or not. But to get up there and make up stories, right? And make up stories about your agent, you have no clue. You're just clueless. I'm just a kid skipping down the street. I don't know. I guess my parents signed me up for camp. I'm not really sure. What? Like, I mean, come on, man. I can't. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing, and that is piss poor journalism. They pissed down their leg and literally let this dude get up there and sing and dance. He got up there shucking and jiving with y'all, and nobody wanted to hold his feet to the fire.
For the record, I didn't hear the full 25-minute interview. I can't go that far because I didn't hear what the questions. All I heard were the clips that came out. I'm not gonna sit here and say I listened to the whole interview. So I don't know what questions were asked. I can't tell you that.
Everything but twerk.
All right, let's go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter and got to keep this thing rolling. Let's see. At @R_Christian4 said at this point, blow it all up. See what you can get for Turner, KPJ, Bobby, AJ Green, who and he's not even eligible to be traded. And obviously get the best package back for Giannis. Just pull the plug, start the rebuild. Surrounding guys aren't good enough for when 34 is back. Anyways, so just trade away. Also, fire Doc, please. At AZIP70 says, shorthanded or not, the team continues to have zero offensive game plan thanks to our brain-dead coach. One of two things needs to happen tonight. Either fire Doc or make a trade. I don't want to hear anybody say we'll be fine and continue to defend Doc. At DJ_BOB says, it's officially tanking season. Giannis still 4 weeks away. This team is going to be 12 to 15 games below 500. If he sees the court again, season's over. Time to watch some college hoops and see who we can draft. At the Wisconsin kid said, keep the tanking going. I have a feeling we're about to do some bad panic trades. At J. Phil in Texas says, AJ Green useless again. To take Rollins out for him is fireable. Unbelievable. At JR Horvath says, tragically bad defensive team coaching is horrific. They have to start the rebuild now. The talent's just not there. Do a couple more here. At Notions of Nick says, how does Glenn not have any plays, get AJ Green the ball for open looks? Zone defense late in the fourth? Question mark. What's the offensive game plan? Question mark. At Porque No Gooey says, fire Doc. What does this clown do all day? And we'll do one more here. Bayou fan. I think so. It says, numb to the pain, guru. Numb to the pain. So yeah, a lot of just a somber mood in the crazy thing. It's funny about the Twitter. I think this is my thing that I think when does it, somebody's asking chat about, when do people not show up? If you're honest, this sounded like because tonight and what was different about these Twitter comments that I've seen and seen in the past is usually people are upset and they're blaming people erratically and they're all over the place yelling. This is more apathetic. This is more, it's over. Trade everybody. We're done. Fired. That is it's just a different mood than we're used to seeing. Because I think again, when people still have hope, when people are mad, they're ready to blame and they're ready to go. This was not that in the Twitter comments tonight. We're not. You didn't hear nothing about Bobby Portis or any one guy calling out nobody. Outside of somebody called out AJ Green, but there wasn't a lot of that. It was just we're cooked. Is kind of where the chat went with it. So interesting.
Yeah, that might be the most positive we've had from the Wisconsin kid all year in the history of me being here.
Yeah. So,
Hey, listen,
all right.
man, apathy before January is not a good thing.
No, it is
That
not.
Not a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's not. Let's go to the game balls night. 111-105. Toronto Raptors beat the Bucks. Game balls. Where are you going?
Keep in mind.
Yeah, I got to take mine home tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Keep in mind. Ain't nobody getting my game ball.
I really want to take
Make
it
that
home.
UCLA trainer.
It can't be KPJ every game.
Like, UCLA train's crazy.
I'm gonna go. This is like a good 4 to 5 game stretch from Big Bob, and moving up to third all time off the bench with double doubles. I think Big Bob should get it, man. And regardless of what the chat say about him, he's just gonna keep hooping and keep doing his thing. And AKA Big Bob, ain't no tour dates no more. AKA, if y'all want to trade me, I'm gonna get my value up a little bit higher and get y'all a little bit more back. AKA, I'm still the mayor of Milwaukee, and if y'all ain't gonna root for me, I'm gonna bring somebody in here that will root for me.
Okay, who's gonna bring in the roof?
I'm gonna say you gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna bring someone roof for you. Game ball night for me. You know me, you got to win to get in. Brandon Ingram, 29 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 9 of 18 from the field, 4-6 from 3, plus 13 on the night, team high. They couldn't stop him tonight. He was. I mean, and again, I don't know. It wasn't a quiet 29. It wasn't a loud 29, but it was just he went to work. That was what I saw from Brandon Ingram. He went to work and went about his business and just destroyed and cooked the Bucks tonight with 29 points, 8 boards, 3 assists. So my game ball goes to Brandon Ingram, a.k.a. Workman, a.k.a. Glorilla, a.k.a.
Yeah, Glow.
Yeah, my girl on the sideline, a.k.a. Oh, Dame, I done took your girl. She wanted you, now she with me, a.k.a. Take that back.
The second girl Dame lost?
Huh?
That's the second girl that Dame lost his wife first. They Glorilla.
Damn, I wasn't gonna go there. Damn,
you know what?
That's so crazy about the Glorilla. Like she clearly just wanted. She wanted to be an NBA sideline wifey girlfriend. That's what she wanted. She was choosing, and she found somebody to roll that with.
Didn't she kick it with Dame though, or was there a picture? Wasn't there a picture with those?
They did. They took a pic. You know what? They actually took a picture at the Vegas when the Bucks won the. Was that the NBA Cup?
Yeah, it was the All-Star game.
No, that was All-Star. Yep, that was because that was 2 years. That wasn't last year. That was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was All-Star. She was at All-Star and took a picture with him. But yeah, see, he fumbled that bag. He fumbled that bag. But I don't know. Is that a bag? Is that a bag you fumble? I don't know. I don't know if that's a bag you fumble.
Maybe they were outside. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah, no, maybe he didn't. And like I said, maybe just didn't want that. Maybe just didn't want that long term. Because end of the day, man. End of the day, we ain't forget what your face used to look like.
And in fairness,
Klay Thompson looked happy. Klay Thompson looks like that brother looked happy, and I'm happy for him.
Or maybe Dame went to the snow going into Milwaukee, and who knows? Maybe that's the bright side.
Maybe watching YouTube all day. That's means for Dame watching fight videos on YouTube all day. He wasn't leaving that house.
Right.
I legit had a thought. I legit had a thought until you said we ain't forgot what your face looked like. Goodness gracious. That's crazy work. Hey man, like in fairness to Dave, man, he's coming off that long relationship. Divorce, kids, all that involved, man. So, but shout out to Glow, she got her stuff. And Ingram did what he's supposed to do. For all y'all in the chat talking about, do we remember the purple and green Herb Cole Bucks, blah, blah, blah. Now, I go back to the Mecca. I remember it all. Remember the good times, the bad times. Trey's a Bradley Center veteran. JT's a Bradley Center veteran. And Chris King probably forgot more basketball knowledge than half them pundits that are asking questions. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Chris King. Had he had been in that room, he would have pressed Giannis. Yeah. I bet my bottom dollar he would have asked a follow-up question. No pause.
Hey, the one thing too, I'll say about Brandon Ingram is that like this was a guy who I thought for a long time the Bucks might have had interest in, and his issue was always not being able to stay healthy. Well, he looks healthy now, and you see what that's kind of bringing to Toronto. So good on him, man. I wish we were able to get him when it was possible.
That's a really good point. And yeah, to your point, he like I said, I think there were questions about what is his actual game, what is he? And yeah, he's a again now your issue is I think he's a great number if he's a number 2. If you could have him as your number 2, yeah, you got something going. You got something going there. But yeah, I don't think this Raptors team is going anywhere. It's just not going to be good enough. But again, he's a good young player. So I think
shout out to Kinston.
Yeah, he is from North Carolina. Yeah, he is from North Carolina. I forgot about that. All right, let's a quick look around right now. Let's see, Bucks 111, Toronto 111-105 beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Blazers are up over the Kings right now, 109-93. Let's see, DeRozan has 11 points tonight, so he ain't out there cooking nothing. Jeremy Grant has 13, 9, and 5. Just checking on potential targets. How about the Hornets? 133-126 in Trae Young's return. And he only had 8 points, 10 assists. That's not a good look losing to the Hornets after your team's been doing pretty well. Jalen Johnson, 43, 11, and 9. Big game from him. Game winner out of New York. The Knicks beat the Pacers on a Brunson three-pointer. They were down 2, 114-113. Get the dub. Heat are 15-12. They beat the Brooklyn Nets 106-95. Thunder 25-2. 122-101 over the Clippers. Spurs 119-94 over the Wizards. Let's see. Wemby came off the bench again, 15-8-4. I was looking. Oh no, Chris Middleton didn't play again. Is he out again? Man, he'll never play basketball.
PJ boy.
He played 3 minutes 30 seconds, no points. The Mavericks, that's a bad loss for the Pistons. Mavericks beat the Pistons 116-114. Nuggets beat the Magic tonight. Suns 99-98 over the Warriors. Suns quietly again, they lost KD and Bradley Beal and that kind of super team they tried to build. And again, that shows you it doesn't. Again, the Suns are in a competitive Western Conference and they're playing competitive basketball. So at 15-12, so it doesn't take long. You can get yourself right back in this thing if you make good moves and hire a good coach. 143-135. Lakers beat the Jazz as well. Just saw if you were watching. I don't know if you were, but the Rams lost to the Seahawks. I think that final was 38-37 or 39-38, something like that. So interested. The other interesting point, I want to be. I know we got it's 12:30. So I want to do one. The New York Knicks. Any thoughts? They win the NBA Cup, and they are the first team to win the NBA Cup to announce they are not going to that they are not going to hang a banner for winning the cup. So that sparked some debate about the Lakers and the Bucks and whether the Lakers are going to. And again, apparently there was a tweet that I don't know what Puka Nacua. There's apparently I was just separately. Puka Nacua put out a tweet and then deleted it. Something else that has something to do with this issues he had before the games. I don't know exactly what was said there, but I think they're asking McVay about it, and he's kind of shaking his head. But anyway, any thoughts about the New York Knicks not raising a banner? I'll say this. You know me, I'm a cup hater. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. I don't think the cup means anything. I don't think it's worth anything. It's such an arbitrary tournament. It makes no sense. We have these weird schedules because of it. And the crazy thing about the cup, the reason it's so stupid is because it's like there's only four. When you play 4 games, it's 4 teams. We play 4 games. Like, even if you wanted to do this stupid tournament, it should be 15 games. What's stopping? Why are we doing all this before Christmas? Like, run this thing all the way through. Like, the Cup championship was on a Tuesday. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? It's a stupid tournament. It doesn't mean anything. I hate the Cup. Again, you win it. Again, great. guys play hard for the money. I'm all for it, giving their money, whatever. But yeah, man, it doesn't do anything for me. And I think it's a good thing that the Knicks are putting their foot down. Like, yeah, I'm not hanging up a banner for that mess. But that's me.
Well, it goes to show you that the orgs don't care. Like the organizations clearly don't care. As much as Adam Silver wants to hype this, as much as he wants to make this a thing, I get it conceptually, but the organizations don't care because the practical reality of it is that you saw Darwin he got fired after like that's not going to say like that. Like nothing's going to help you. It does not help you from a resume perspective. It doesn't help you meet expectations. Coaches are not getting hired saying we want to see you win the NBA Cup. No, it's the Larry O'Brien, right? We want to see you compete for a championship, not the NBA in-season championship, the NBA championship. And the Larry O'Brien remains supreme here. So it doesn't really surprise me that the Knicks have just said we have bigger and better goals. This isn't worth hanging up here. Y'all got your cash prize. That's your celebration.
Yeah, the issue is that the Knicks, their goals aren't going to be met, and they continue to not be met. Like, I don't believe a bit in New York being successful with the way that their team is built right now, at least long term, and long enough for a finals run at least. Like, they may reach ECF, they may, go second round, but to me, they're not built for it. They don't have the guys. They don't, to me. And so maybe you should have celebrated it because you're going to have nothing to celebrate at the end of this season. I would have expected them to celebrate it, put up a banner, because everybody else followed suit, and those teams have actually won in the last decade. But you know what? I am in agreement that Adam Silver is trying to hype this thing up way more than it probably should be. Like, I saw that report. Trey didn't like it either. The championship games hosted at historical college venues.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
So, I mean, it would be cool if they played at UD Arena. That would be nice. But at the end of the day.
No, you know exactly where they're going to play it. Adam Silver went to Duke. They playing it. They gonna put it right in Karen. And come on, man. There's no reason.
Exactly, bro.
No reason you got NBA players playing at Duke, man. Be serious.
You see in the NHL where they honor the Conn Smythe Trophy and they put up a banner and stuff like that. It's not the whole all the other stuff. Unless you're a regular season champion for best record, most points, whatever they do. I think it should be something like that. I do not think the Milwaukee Bucks should take down their banner. I think it is what it is. It should be the level of a division championship banner. And I think we should celebrate it. And Trey, if you don't like it, turn your hat and your shirt in.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't. Listen, the money's worth it. You can take off. I think the banner's a bit much. I think we're acting like it's an actual thing. At the end of the day, it's a money grab. That's what it's an incentive for players. You talking about incentives early in the show. It's about money for these players, and I have no problem with that at all. I just don't want to pretend like it means something because, again, here's the thing: we know it doesn't. Because if it did, Giannis wouldn't be about to leave. Wouldn't be discussing it, and we wouldn't be discussing how the Bucks are trash because of all this and it tanking. Because you would have said, "Oh, but we won the cup. We won the cup, so the season was. If you win the cup, nobody actually thinks it was a success. Nobody thinks you had a successful season because you won that stupid cup. So I don't know why we got to pretend like it means something. But yeah,
real quick, Van Lee, he's a Heat fan. He just came in the chat, sent it a couple times, but he's asking which one do you guys like more? If the Bucks were to trade Giannis, the Jalen Johnson package or the Khalil Ware and Tyler Hero package?
Jalen Johnson. I don't know how many picks are they're trying to associate with that, but as far as players, no question, Jalen Johnson. No question. I think Tyler Hero's in. I think he may be more injured than people are letting on to. Somebody, I don't know if you heard it. I heard Windhorse on saying that, in emphasis, it'll mean more as time goes on and more teams. But I don't think it will. I honestly don't believe. I do not believe it will mean more. I really don't. I think they're going to have to keep tweaking it and trying to do. And I don't think it's going to mean more. But I heard Windhorse saying that there's a chance that the Bucks, or at least he thought that there's a possibility that the Bucks get Tyler Hero without with no Giannis trade, that it would just be like a Hero and something else, and the Bucks would basically send the Heat a couple picks and Bobby Portis or something to try to get Tyler Hero to play with Giannis, which would be. I don't think they would do. I don't think they would try to help the Bucks keep Giannis. I don't think they would do that. But I thought it was interesting that Wendy made that point earlier.
I think that's to be super tough on Hero, man. I mean, in reference back to Caron Butler, I don't know if it was a podcast, I don't know if it was a radio interview or whatever, but he talked about the 1 year he spent in Milwaukee and how difficult it was from the amount of family members and friends asking for tickets. And you're playing in your hometown, unless you're like LeBron James, it's a super hard challenge. And hey, man, love Tyler Hero. Love everything that he does. He ain't like that old bum ass dude down in Indy that wants to wear a Dodgers jersey and throw out the pitch for those bums. He did so much for Brewers and all that other stuff. Love Pazinski too. Playing in front of these people that have seen you play from middle school, high school, should have been college, but you went to Kentucky. It's all good. It's just tough. Challenge.
Dustin Wagner says the package was Rollins, Portis, Jackson, and a 2032 first for Hero.
What Jackson? Andre Jackson Jr.?
Yeah, gotta be.
It's a little expensive.
It is a little expensive.
I'm not
How long
giving
is
up
he on
Rollins
the
for
contract?
Tyler Hero. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I think
Wouldn't?
Rollins
Not
makes it
doing
a little rich.
Yeah, that's a little expensive.
But again, Rollins isn't available to be traded till January. So
How long is Hero under contract for?
I'm not sure.
I feel like he just signed a max. I mean, if we talking about guys that could kick out, that Giannis can kick the ball out to, I mean, the kid can shoot the ball well. He created his own shot too.
He signed a 4-year, $120 million.
Is that enough
back
to
in
make Giannis
20
stay?
He signed that in 20. But he's on the He has 2 more years left on that, this and next year, before he'll be an unrestricted free agent. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that'd be enough. Again, I like Tyler Hero's game though. I don't know.
Send Cole Anthony. Somebody just said.
Yeah,
send
but
him
see,
back to Florida. I'm cool.
But yeah, I don't think. I think that would only make sense for the Heat. If Rollins. Yeah, I don't know that I would do it. But yeah, I don't know that I would do it. But Hero's a better player than Rollins is right now. But yes, that's tough to send out a guy like that. But again, he's not available to be traded till January. So I guess that to me is a non-starter because the Bucks are gonna need help ASAP.
So then it sounds like with that trade, you'd have to replace Rollins with Porter Jr., and that'd be a definite no for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that either. I'm not doing that. One thing I did see, so the tweet about Puka Nacua. So the other thing, he did get fined because he talked about after the anti-Semitic, which again, I didn't know anything about this dance being anti-Semitic, but that's another story. He was on stream with Aiden Ross. He got fined by the NFL because he said that refs made intentional bad calls so they could get more airtime. And I'm assuming he was talking about that play, the controversial play. And I don't know how controversial it was. I saw him play it a bunch of times on the TV screen. I obviously saw on mute, so I don't know what they actually said about it. But maybe he was talking about that backwards pass ended up being ended up getting it Seattle a 2-point conversion. He tweets out, "Can you say I was wrong? Appreciate the stripes for your contribution. LOL," talking about the officials, and then he deleted it. So he's gonna get fined again. Puka having a rough go of it. Starting this thing off. But
yeah, no, I mean, I guess I can comment on it because this is like my generation nowadays with the streaming stuff. But like, dude, you just got to be a little more socially aware than what he did. Like, it was like an anti-Semitic touchdown celebration, basically, just some hand motion that's inappropriate. And so, like, you just have to be socially aware of what's acceptable, what's not. And you can't go into the mindset of, like, yeah, I'm just going to go on a stream with Aiden Ross and Neon is the other guy and not expect them to do something controversial. Because that's all it is, right? You see all those clips that go on Twitter, and it's all, what do they call it? Clip farming. That's what they do. So they're going to try to get you. They got him. And now he has to pay the price. And then also, with his brother stealing
Yep.
dude with the arrows, SUV, and all that. Yeah, he's had a rough week for sure.
I was gonna say, I think he's been going through it though. Didn't something strange happen with his wife?
Yeah, I think she might.
Did she have a baby and he didn't know if it was his or something like that?
Yeah, that's what it was.
He's been going through it. His last 6 months have been a lot. And Nakua is we were talking about this before. He's a great player. I mean, he had
a hell of a night tonight.
He's very good. I mean, I would be stunned if he doesn't end up on an All-Pro team this year. I mean, Nakua, yeah, he going through it for real right now.
Yeah, I think that, to your point, this is why you go on traditional media. And I know the streamers are what's hot right now, Aiden Ross and what's some other Makai Sinat and Speed. I know there was hot in the younger communities. This is why you go to Jimmy Fallon. This is why you make appearances on Conan or who, and why you go on what's my other man? It's Fallon.
Thanasis.
Well, yeah, well, not yeah, but well, no, that's what I'm saying. This is why you go on traditional media tours instead of these streamers, because them people they don't have them filters. They will get you in trouble. That's why you rather go on interviews when she was hot, Ellen, when Ellen was big. That's why you do that kind of stuff, because they're not gonna get you. No, you make those appearances, you don't get in no trouble. You mess with these streamers don't have they come up in it's a different world. So but yeah, like I said, that should be a learning lesson for Puka.
That's the thing is, and also, I mean, streamers ain't governed by the FCC. Everybody else on the FCC, they got something to lose by getting in there and completely acting a fool. You do something wild in traditional media as well. So something to think about.
Hey, real quick, Portland Trailblazers was just up by a bajillion. It's a 1-point game. They fumbled the bag completely, and Sacramento have a chance to tie this ball game up if he doesn't hit both these free throws.
Interesting. I got back in it. Anybody else? Anything else for the for a look around? Obviously, I have college football playoffs this weekend, but I don't have anything on that one. But anything else that you guys want? Of course, Packers have a big one against the Bears, but anything else you guys want to get at for a look around before we get up out of here?
That's right. Packers Bears this Saturday. Football's on Saturday this week, fellas. In case y'all don't know, this is a great football work. What we about to get. What's the first? Is college football playing? Is it Friday night?
OU Bama, Reggie Powers.
That's Friday night, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
So we're gonna get football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I'm assuming there'll probably be some bowl games on Tuesday. When this is the best time.
Get bowl games Friday and
next 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Football every day.
That's what I was gonna say. I think
even if it's like the random Pop-Tart bowl on a Wednesday, that's fine.
Yeah. Even though these bowls, like I said, we wound down talking about the NBA Cup losing relevance. These bowl games, it's gonna be rough to see what ends up happening. So, but I think somebody had a good point about putting them. You can put them at the beginning of the season and do them like that, and that way you can kind of keep relevant. Hey, shout out to the Celebration Bowl. Shout out to Chennis Berry for the South Carolina State MEAC. Let's go.
We giving Marshall Falk some love at getting the job at Southern.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's definitely a good thing. Marshall Falk getting his job at Southern. How about shout out to what's the man, Brendan Marion, going out there at Rado. Hey, that offense about to cook this year. I'm telling you, book it. That offense about to cook this year at Rado. Brendan Marion.
Brendan Marion from Sacramento State. Brendan Marion from Sacramento State, and man, salute to Coach Zoe Carter, who just got the job at Sacramento State. Zoe, when I was out in Arizona, Zoe was the running backs coach. So when I was out there when we took a trip back to Arizona in the spring, that's when I was sitting in the office with Zoe. That's how I met Ted McMillan and everybody else in there too. Zoe was a real cool dude, man. Happy for him. Congrats on his first head coaching job.
Who's Sacramento State's general manager?
That I don't know who the GM is now.
Isn't that Shaq? Isn't that what Shaq is running, or something different?
Yeah, that's basketball.
For basketball, I have no idea for football.
Mike Bibby's the coach over there?
Mike Bibby's the coach of Sac State. So Sac State, the interesting thing about Sacramento State is in the last 2 years, they've had a huge investment. They got a lot.
Hey, don't Mikey Williams go there?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Mikey, there's a few. Yeah. The Sacramento State's had a big investment from donors in the last couple of years trying to get their football program and their basketball program right. So, Sacramento
it's hard
State,
to start from that conference. I'm not, to get any type of national relevance. That's a long project.
Well, I think, like I said, that's the problem. Hasn't Sacramento State had like 4 coaches since 2020?
Probably.
Yeah, because people go there, they do well, they get a job at a coordinator or another smaller school, and they keep this thing pushing. But, if anybody can make this thing jump, it's definitely Coach Carter. He's from there. He's from Northern California. Got a lot of, I guess Sacramento's not kind of Northern California, but he's got a lot of contacts out there. He was a JUCO, Contra Costa Community College out there for a minute. And I think he's a right man for the job. He's going to do a tremendous job out there.
Kings and Blazers going to overtime. DeMar DeRozan hits a 3, send it to overtime.
The more I hear it, the less I like it.
17-2 run in the last minute and 53 seconds.
Wow.
For the Kings.
Yeah, that game should have been over.
Shout out to the Chris Paul Invitational too, man.
Hey, man. You know what? We got a hilarious comment here. No straight 21. So we're not gonna talk about Josh Hart checking Brunson or after winning.
Yeah, that was wild, bro. That was wild. That's one of the things.
What was that?
That's one of the things where I'll say this. There are, and again, it goes down a lot of levels. A lot of weird stuff goes on in locker rooms. You've been in locker rooms. I've been everybody. A lot of weird stuff goes on in locker rooms. I can't say like that's you're right, but I've seen weirder things than that happen in locker rooms. Your issue, and I'm sure it goes on to professional levels too. Well, we know because remember rumors about grown men. Remember Shaq used to like take people's mouthpieces and put them under his balls and his butt cheeks, and then put them back in people's locker. So a lot of weird stuff goes on in locker rooms. What I'll say that should not make it to the floor. Again, if y'all want to do weird stuff, like hey, whatever your dynamic is, that's your dynamic. Cool, weird, but hey, that cannot happen in the floor. That can't happen on the floor.
And the fact
it can't happen on the floor.
Crazy. Wait, so I'm not going to tell you to go on YouTube and watch these videos of Dwight Howard doing all kind of wild stuff on the bench. When Dwight Howard was on the bench, and then Orlando boys, they got reaching into people's laps and all kind of stuff. Like you said, a lot of weird stuff goes on in the locker room. I thought that wouldn't happen amongst grown men, but man, like I don't know what that was from Josh Hart, but yeah, that shouldn't have made it out.
Yeah, you got to keep that on. Whatever you got to. Again, it's weird in the locker room, but you got to keep it weird in the locker. You got to keep it in the locker room.
Another man's butt on
can't
TV.
Do that. Yeah, you can't play. Yeah, if you ever seen them do interviews, they always be playing and they do a lot of play. That's how they play a lot. Him and didn't they went to college together? Did they go to college?
No. Yeah.
Were they there at the same time though too?
Yeah, they were on the same team.
Oh yeah, so they've been weird.
National champions.
Yeah, they've been weird for a minute together.
They've been weird for a minute. Nah, you don't do that.
That just disproves Trey's theory that it doesn't mean anything. Because I mean, if you're gonna stick your whole finger up someone's paws,
but they doing that. Let me tell you something. They let it. You're right. Maybe they carried over because they doing that on random Wednesday nights too. I'm telling you that. Random Wednesday night win against the Sixers. They playing around.
I don't understand that. And
what bus you getting on to go to the game? What bus you get? You on bus 1 or bus 2? Oh yeah, they playing.
I just don't. I mean, it's crazy, man. Because they grown men, but I'm gonna win a championship. I'm gonna play in my teammates' butt in front of everybody. Are you crazy? Like I just can't even. I guess, man. Too
many cameras, man. Too many cameras.
Just period. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, why are you doing it? Period? It does. I'm telling that.
But at what point do we age out of that happening in a locker room? Is it 30 and up crowd not doing stuff like that?
I don't know what. How old is Brunson and what's his name?
They're too goddamn old to be doing that. I'll tell you that. But I'm guessing late 20s.
Yeah, they let that one spill. But they are, like I said, they do it. What did you see the other day? There was a press conference and he was like, Josh Hart was like, Brunson does a lot of, for his size, He's one of the best players side. You know, it'd be like pound for pound. He was talking about inch for inch. He one of the best players in the league.
I heard
inch
that.
for inch. I'm like,
Right. So they doing.
they do that. That's the day they play, but they play. I can tell they
doing
play.
the whole pause routine.
Yeah, they be playing.
Questionable. Man, I'm about to send y'all a video if I can find this.
But yeah. All right. Anything else before anything else?
We shout out that Chris Paul Classic. You had Hampton University give a little bit of belt to ass to Jackson State, and then Grambling beat Norfolk State. And
Chris Paul the Classic, was he there? He should have been there. He ain't got nothing else to do.
It's in Atlanta, but the crazy thing to tie it back into the Bucks, and I'm sure you brothers know, head coach of Jackson State University is Mo Williams.
Yes. Yes, he is. Absolutely. Let's see.
Y'all.
Yo, he wild, JT. I just seen it.
Y'all video. Telling me what to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I should share it with the chat, but you know.
Wow. He be on one too. All right. Anything else? Anything else, y'all guys want to get out before we get out of here? And get up out of here.
Saturday gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it certainly will. Certainly will. All right. Bucks lose it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get the dub. 111-105. Thought it was a good effort. Bucks are back in action Sunday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. See if they can get a dub. I think I should be able to make that one because I think I am going to go to the Panthers, Buccaneers, but we'll see, man. We gotta keep the thing rolling, get back in the swing of things. Lost to the damn Saints. But yeah, man, let's get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. A lot of people stayed in the chat. I don't know how long we went, but a lot of people stayed in the chat. We had to make up for that 11-minute show. I see that's what we were doing. A lot of people stayed in the chat tonight, so we appreciate it coming into the world, but you were here with us after the Bucks lost 111-105. Got into a lot of different things, topic conversations about Giannis, talking about the team, talking about Doc Rivers, talking about whether or not other swing trades. So again, we enjoyed you. Appreciate everybody for sending out their super chats. Appreciate you for rocking with us, having some fun as well. Please, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, please hit the like button on your way out. Dustin Wagner, did I ever send you his address did I ever send you Dustin Wagner's address?
Yeah, we gotta.
You did. Okay.
Yeah, no, it ain't coming yet. Pause. We gotta get it together though.
All right, I'm gonna send you his stuff. To see, because I just saw he hit me on Twitter with his information. I don't know why it just came through, so I'll get it to you. But yeah, we appreciate everybody for joining us. If you haven't hit the like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Tell a friend about the Cream City Crossover. It is the best Milwaukee Bucks postgame show in all of the land. This has been happy Merry Christmas. We'll be on again before Christmas, though, right? But yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all of that good stuff. Say it again.
Maybe twice because we got to show. There's a game on 21st and the 23rd, I believe.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that'll work. Make sure again, man. Don't. Well, I'll lead out. Don't pass out at the holiday party for you at the job. Don't do that. Keep yourself under control.
Ass out. Don't do that.
You said right. Don't Josh Hardy
dance with the chair.
Yeah, all that, man. Everybody keep it player. No fingers. Absolutely, Will Lundquist. Appreciate you guys as well. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Alert.
JT,
Chris King,
Justin.
If I am enemies only because I dare to tell you the truth, don't take no wood nickels.